Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This weekend we are road tripping from Victoria to Port Renfrew on Vancouver Island in Canada.
If you're new to the channel, I'm David.
I'm Kaylee.
And we run a travel vlog called Made to Explore.
We are passionate about activities that get you outside and off the beaten path. We've also got a ton of van life content. So
let's get into the road trip. Make sure to stick around until the end of this video because we're going to be sharing with you our favorite activity that we did in Victoria. And you can do it all year long.
Yeah, it's kind of a hidden gem. We didn't know about it till this time we went, and we're really excited to tell you guys about it. So the drive from Victoria to Port Renfrew is about 2 hours each way. It is along Vancouver Island's south shore, and a lot of the stops are actually along the Juan de Fuca Trail, which is a really popular hiking trail, and they have a lot of parking lots along the way, so you don't actually have to do the full hike. You can just do sections of it and hit up a lot of these really cool stops. 3 to 4 days is ideal for this road trip, with spending a day or two in Victoria.
There's so much to do in Victoria. After you leave Victoria, some of the towns get quite a bit smaller. Cell service diminishes.
Yes.
But it's a little more off-grid, but Victoria is a very fun and beautiful city to visit for a while.
Also, Victoria is a good place to stock up on cash, because if you're going to be camping, all the campgrounds only take cash along that part of the coast. So Victoria and Sooke is kind of your last shot for that. Port Renfrew has really not much in it, so don't plan to be like having cell service or getting cash there.
No.
First up is Victoria. So we were there for about between 3 and 4 days, but David was working for some of those days. So you could probably get away with doing it in, I'm going to say, like 2 days.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chinatown and Fantan Alley in Victoria were really neat to see. All of downtown Victoria is kind of within walking distance, so it's really easy we just stepped out of our camper van basically and just started exploring downtown instead of having to take like public transit or anything. There's lots of cool shops, especially in Chinatown, lots of delicious restaurants, and Fantan Alley was actually like something we've never experienced before. So.
Yeah, it's like the narrowest street in Victoria. I think it's just like a little brick alley lit up with lanterns and lights. It's kind of a neat place to walk through. Yeah,
for street photography, if you're into that, it is an awesome place to go.
In the rest of downtown, I did some shopping. We did some walking around.
Make sure to pay for parking because we got a parking ticket.
We did get a parking ticket. Yeah, we were so excited. We just parked and we were like, let's go, and we didn't even think about paying. And being in this big white van, we stand out quite a lot, so I'm sure they just watched us pull in and not pay. Anyways, moving on. Other things to do in Victoria are Fisherman's Wharf. It's a cool place to walk around for, I would say you probably only need an hour.
Yeah, go there hungry though.
Yes.
Because there's lots of fish and chip restaurants to stop at.
Yeah, there's tons of little local restaurants. There is some houseboats, some tourist offices down there.
Yeah. If you want to go for a hike while you're in Victoria, Mount Douglas is the perfect spot. You can hike or drive up to the viewpoint. It's about a 4-kilometer hike with 205 meters of elevation gain. It is not that difficult. The path and the forest that you walk through are stunning.
Super nice.
And yeah, it's a nice little viewpoint overlooking Victoria and the coastline.
If you are interested in plant-based food, we went for dinner at a place called Virtuous Pie. I can't have dairy, and it was like one of the best dairy-free pizzas ever. We had like garlic knots and pizza and like a big giant vegan cookie. If that floats your boat, make sure to go. And our last thing in Victoria that we are really excited to share with you, you're gonna have to wait till the end. The next stop is Goldstream Provincial Park. I think it's only about 30 minutes outside of Victoria, and it's on your way to Port Renfrew. There are tons of hikes in this park. It is gorgeous. It's an old growth forest, and it's got a really, really beautiful waterfall that only requires about a half a kilometer hike in, which is amazing. Something to note is that this park used to have the Goldstream trestles that were open to the public. Unfortunately, there was an incident there, I think a few years ago now, where someone was badly injured, and it is now closed to the public. But still very much worth the trip to see Niagara Falls and do some hikes in the area.
Just before reaching Sooke, there is a really nice little provincial park called Mount Manuel, Quimper. There's lots of hiking and biking trails in this area, and we did the hike. It's 10 kilometers and 478 meters of elevation gain. It took us about 2.5 hours, but the views along the coastline were exceptional. And there are just so many trails along there. Like if you're into mountain biking, I would highly suggest it because it looks sick.
emptied out my soul. You've heard it all before, honest but I know. Left these years ago, I was young and almost still could fill the void.
This is one of the best hikes in that area for sure. So if you are into hiking and you are looking to do one around Sooke, that is a great place to go. You can also, if you're in a camper van, Sooke has a public pool that you can go to shower and sit in the hot tub or sauna afterwards.
Or go to the gym.
Yeah. After your hike, you can hit the gym. Next up is the Sooke Potholes. This is somewhere that we actually didn't go to because the day that we were planning to go, it was monsooning outside. But
and it was pretty cold.
Yes. So I think in the summer it's a lot more popular. We would really like to go and check it out, and it's been recommended so many times that we wanted to add it into this video. Basically, it's a bunch of potholes in a river that you can go and bathe in the summertime. Splash around.
If you're looking to get a bite to eat or a drink in Sooke, there are a few places that we went to that were fantastic. One was Route 14 restaurant.
So good.
It was so good. The food was good. The drinks were good. It seemed like the hot spot in Sooke. It was super busy.
Yeah.
Another spot for some beer tasting, if you're into that, is the Sooke Brewing Company. If you are into more on the hard alcohol side of things, there is the Sheringham Distillery where you can go and get a cocktail. Kaylee's favorite.
Less of a beer taster, more of a distillery gal myself, but it's nice that they have both. Something very important to note, which we kind of touched on at the beginning, after Sooke there are very few options for food, self-service, ATMs, anything like that. So if there's anything that you want to stock up on for the rest of your trip, Sooke is the place to do it. Even gas. Like, I don't even think there's a gas station until... Is there a gas station in Port Renfrew?
I think there's a small one, but to be honest, the gas prices are probably super high. So gas, food, booze, and cash.
Stock up in Sooke.
Last night we stayed at French Beach Campground. We really didn't spend a lot of time there. We pulled up kind of late and just stayed the night. It was $26. Now we are just a little further west on Route 14, exploring Sandcut Beach.
So this beach is famous for having a waterfall that goes onto the beach and into the ocean. So I think it's only about a 15-minute hike, not a ton of elevation. The forest is really beautiful here.
Kaylee is planning to go underneath the waterfall, which you can do. Might be pretty slippery. She says she's a ninja. I think it's the coffee talking. We'll find out soon enough.
Alright, so Sandcut Beach was awesome. The falls were great. You just go down to the beach and then take a left, and that will take you all the way to the falls. Next on our list is Mystic Beach, which you actually access from the China Beach trailhead. So it's the start of the Juan de Fuca Trail. So this hike is 4 kilometers in total, 2 kilometers there, 2 kilometers back. And I think it's only about like 60 something meters of elevation gain, so nothing too crazy. And the forest here is beautiful. They've got, so far it's pretty well maintained with boardwalks and such.
Made it down to Mystic Beach. Just walking down the final set of steps. The way back is gonna be pretty much all uphill, which we're not looking forward to as much, but it looks beautiful down here. It hasn't rained today. It was in the forecast. That's really nice. And we are going to enjoy a little bit of time on the beach.
Everywhere is so pretty.
Coming from 2 people who live in the mountains and slash prairie, the ocean shoreline is always bit of a surprise to us.
All right, should we go find another beachfront waterfall?
To the waterfall.
To the waterfall. Come here, babe. So David just popped around the corner. Bailey followed and got soaked. The dog does not like to get wet, if you can't tell. Good girl! One's a little more manageable than the last one. Made it back to the van. Bailey is really dirty.
Not yet.
I feel like she's just gonna get as muddy on our next stop. So.
That was Mystic Beach. On to the next stop of our road trip. We just arrived at Sombrio Beach. It is a little closer to Port Renfrew. It is starting to sprinkle a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't get worse, but we'll see. So when you come down to the beach, go to East Sombrio and then walk along the beach almost to the end so you can't go any farther. And you'll see like a decent creek coming out and flowing into the ocean. And then you basically just follow the creek up. There's like a trail beside the creek that you'll see.
When you're walking down the beach, you're gonna see this big set of logs. The trail is just up that way. The waterfall is a few hundred meters up the canyon.
So we made it up to the waterfall and it has been quite hard keeping the lens dry. So hopefully the footage shows up okay, but it is so cool. Feet are gonna get wet, so wear some good hiking boots.
Actually, it was supposed to rain this entire trip, but we got really lucky. The only rain we've had so far is last night. It did start raining pretty hard when we were at the Sombrio Beach waterfall, so we decided to go back today. Did another little hike. Sunday morning, we had it to ourselves for like an hour.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Which was really, really nice. And now it's time to make some breakfast, and then we're gonna head off to our next stop, which is Avatar Grove.
We just arrived at Avatar Grove, which is a beautiful patch of forest.
Yeah, old growth forest with like walkways.
The trees are huge.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It is actually just past Port Renfrew.
About 20 minutes outside.
Pretty bumpy road, but worth the drive already. So there's two different loops you can do. The lower is only 0.6 of a kilometer and it's easy to moderate. And then the upper Avatar Grove is only 0.3 of a kilometer, but a little bit more difficult. It's really cool to see.
If you're wondering why we decided to come out to the West Coast and dedicate all this time and effort, it was to find Canada's gnarliest tree. That's why we did it, and here it is. Bailey, can you read the trail ends?
The trees are too big for her to get over.
After Avatar Grove, we drove back through Port Renfrew and went to the Botanical Beach, which we loved, actually.
Yeah, we actually did not think that we were going to enjoy it as much as we did.
We are just on our way down to the Botanical Beach, and it is about 1.5 kilometers down to the beach, or you can do a 2.5 kilometer loop if you'd like. The big thing here is to show up at lowest tide, so you have as much beach to explore as you can.
When the tide goes out, all the tide pools are full of different sea creatures. So we're coming kind of just before low tide. It's raining-ish, so we're gonna see how it is when we get down there.
It's currently March and there is a low tide at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The other low tide is really early in the morning, so the afternoon is obviously the best time, but the tides will change throughout the year, so check online. Yeah, we were hiking past all these families and we were like, oh no, what have we done? Like, this isn't gonna be great. Well, I was thinking that for sure. And then we got to the beach and we were looking at all the tide pools. We saw starfish and we actually found a little eel, which was really neat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a little eel.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
That is so cool. Cool find.
There's tons of crabs, just a ton of little sea life, cruise around all those pools.
Yeah, we were like running around like kids, so excited about all the tide pools.
Yeah.
Okay guys, I'm gonna be honest. This is our last stop on this trip and I was skeptical about it. I was like, I mean, walking around looking at tide pools, it's really cool.
We're not huge into like the scientific part of things usually, but this is honestly a lot of fun. Once you get into it, kind of gets carried away.
Yeah,
and you're just going from pool to pool. Yeah. The closer you get to the water, there seems to be like the more life is in the pool. So coming at low tide is definitely key.
So that pretty much sums it up. That is the order that we did it in. You certainly do not have to do things in that order. You can do some stops on your way to Port Renfrew, some stops on your way back to break up the drive. That wraps it up, I think. We almost forgot to give them our favorite thing to do in Victoria. Sorry guys. There's something in Victoria called the hot tub boat. And basically it is your own private floating hot tub and you can cruise around the harbor. So much fun any time of year.
Any weather too. Like when we got there it was raining and to be honest the water's so hot. Like it is hot tub. It's 100 degrees. Like it's really nice. It keeps you nice and warm. There's a little electric motor on the back and then on the other end on the bow there's a wood stove which heats the water and just a blast. You can jump into the ocean like we did, which is freezing but also still fun.
Yeah, you get back into the hot water, you're like, okay, that was good.
I think each boat can hold 6 people.
Yes, and it's to yourself too. It's very reasonably priced. I think for the two of us, it was $200 for 2 hours. So very cool thing. Don't miss it in Victoria.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like it if you liked it and subscribe to the channel.
We would love to have you around for the rest of our adventures. We'll see you in the next one.
See you later.